Good morning and welcome to Coffee with Ald. I am Ald, the art director for and editor for Dizzy-Angel Multimedia, and this is coffee. And I love coffee. I love coffee dearly. We have a close relationship. I mean, I'm not in love with coffee, but I'd probably take a bullet for coffee. I mean, you know, coffee's done a lot for me over the years. Anyway, so yeah, today is, let's see, I'm going to tell a couple stories today. We're going to do a wild horse, a blazing demon, and my sister tries to kill me. I'm going to save that one for last. Most of these happened when I was rather young. I guess I'm around 7 or 8 years old, and I have two older sisters. Um, we'll call one Sue, and she's about 7.5 years older than I am. And we'll call one Rhonda, and mostly because their names are Sue and Rhonda. Boy, that was great. Uh, but we'll call one Rhonda, and she was 9 years older than me. Rhonda passed away in '09, and God rest her soul. And but when they were teenagers, there were a couple teenage brothers that lived down the street that were about the same age as them, and yeah, they kind of chased them. We were in a small neighborhood out in the suburbs and kind of out in the country. There were 13 houses. It was an actual development of 13 houses that they built and stopped after 13 houses. Um, but yeah, these two teenage boys had a pony. Their parents bought them a pony, and I had the opportunity to have a pony myself, and my mother said no. So I was kind of stuck on that. But anyway, so they were playing. They decided to play baseball, and you know, a 7-year-old running around. You don't want him to play baseball in the field with you. Um, there were some other kids in the neighborhood that did come to play. And, I know not a lot of kids in the neighborhood, but enough to get about 4 or 5 kids per team. Um, so they decided to occupy me by putting me on the pony. And they told me, do not take the pony to the back of the field. Whatever you do, do not take the pony to the back of the field. Anybody that knows me knows that the minute that anyone tells me not to do something, that's the minute that I will do it. I've always been like that. I don't have an issue with it. I really don't. So me and the pony went to the back of the field. Now, but the issue was about 3/4, half mile down the road, there was a mare in heat. And I was on a male horse, a stallion. Not a stallion, it was a pony, but you got the idea. And there was a giant canal that ran across between the pony and the horse, the mare. So at full tilt, the horse headed for the road, then down the road for said mare, with me clinging on the back of this horse, riding bareback, and just screaming because I can't get it to stop. Excuse me, I'm sorry for that. Um, I had both of my sisters running full speed behind me, trying to stop the horse, and of course, obviously not catching up. And I guess about halfway to the mare, I fell off, and I broke my arm. And it was funny situation number two. My sisters take me back, and you know, we all, none of us wanted to disappoint mom. I have a great mother. She had her issues, but she was human, but she was wonderful. She raised three of us by herself, and very intimidating woman too. So we come back, and my sisters are scared because they're going to be in trouble. Oh no, we broke Jimmy. And, mom made me take a bath before she take me to the emergency room. And I guess since the bone wasn't poking out of my arm, even though I couldn't move it, she didn't think it was broken. But I fell into a ditch off of a horse, and she made me take a bath, and I just thought, oh, I look back and I think, well, what did the nurse think? What did the doctor think? You know, broke his arm on a horse, huh? It's awful clean. Anyway, that's the story of the wild horse. The horse did fine as far as I know. Lived for years. We moved out maybe 2, 3 years later, and the horse was still doing fine. So, um, And apparently he got to the mayor. So there's that. Yeah. All right. A blazing demon. So for this one, I guess I'm 10, 10 or 11. Um, my mother uh, was very into psychics. She was a very spiritual person, and yeah, she liked to go to psychics, and she would go out of state. She would make road trips out of it practically with her friends. All of her friends were into psychics, and a bunch of single mothers riding to New Jersey on a Friday night to see a psychic. It's kind of a trip, but so she had this friend Josephine, and we used to call her Aunt Joe. And Aunt Joe had a son, Raymond, who was my son, who was my age. And one day we went and messed around with the Ouija board. And interestingly enough, after that, the Ouija board started lying. Lying. Um, I don't have a problem with Ouija boards. I have one myself, but I just don't have an issue with it. The only thing I have is, I don't know. Anyway, I just have something, some superstitions around stuff I'm a bit questionable about. A little coffee this morning. Uh, um, so it started lying to her specifically about her boyfriend, and she was told that she was going to have to burn it. So, back in those days, we used to have burn barrels. This is in the 70s. So she took the board out, her and mom, and put it in the burn barrel and set it on fire. A giant pillar of flame that kind of looked a little bit like a demon's face, with the demon's face, jumped out of it and turned, went after her. Basically, it didn't burn her or anything, but it was kind of trippy to see. And yeah, that's a short story about a blazing demon in a 55-gallon drum, in a burn barrel. And now we get to my sister's trying to kill me. At time, there's been a couple. Uh, so we have a pond. We have a lake. Sorry, we have a lake in the area, and you can't swim there now. There's way too many chemicals in it. But way back in the day, you could. There's a little swimming area, kind of a beach type of thing. It's a city thing. And Silver Lake, and my sister took me to, yeah, y'all dox me here, telling you local landmarks, as if plenty of places don't have Silver Lakes, and are close to New Jersey. Uh, but yeah, I was raised in Delaware, for those of you who are wondering. I don't care if you dox me or not. That's kind of a challenge, isn't it? Not meant as a challenge. So I'm it'd have to be before I was 9, because she moved out when I was 9. So I'm going to say I was probably 7 again at this time. And my sister Sue took me to Silver Lake to teach me how to swim. She took me there to teach me to swim, and that's important. It's going to come up later. So she did what a lot of people do with this teaching swim. She took me out into the water and held me, put her hands under my stomach and held me up while I practiced kicking my feet and paddling my hands. And I kept saying, "You're going to let me go and I'm going to drown." And she kept saying, "I'm not going to let go of you. I'm not going to let go of you. I'm not going to let go of you." And then she let go of me. And I immediately thrashed as I was sinking to the bottom of Silver Lake. Now, fortunately, I didn't die, as most of you can tell. But the interesting part of that was it wasn't until 10 or 15 years later. And I should point out that Sue loved water skiing. Sue and my bio dad, what few times we went to visit him, would go. She always wanted. We'd go camping and she'd go water skiing. She loved to water ski. And what I found weird about that is it wasn't until decades later that I found out Sue can't swim. She's never learned to swim. I'm like, do you water ski? And she's like, yes, with a life vest on. I'm a little phlegmy this morning, aren't I? But yeah, so that's how that's how my sister tried to kill me. And if you're lucky in the future, I'll tell you one of the other times she tried to kill me. Um, yeah. Well, I guess we should probably talk. Wow, this is a long one. I guess we should probably get down to what we're doing today, and then I'll sign off and get to work. Let's see. I've got. What are we working on today? I've got two. All right, I guess I'm going to be editing most of the day. I'm working on, like I said, I'm working on a book for. I can't talk about the minute I can talk about it. I will. But we don't have any contracts. We just have a verbal agreement right now. I'm going through and I'm gonna make a list of. I'm making a list of questions and things like that, and we're gonna send it back, and we're gonna see how she does with it. If she's all right with it. Uh, but yeah, I'm editing today. Don't seem to have a lot of artwork to do today. Most of the stuff's done for the entire week. The 30-second scripture, Bible Bite, daily prayer, daily devotion are all ready all the way up until the 1st of April. Oh, I got to work on Sunday's sermon. I was informed this morning that I have to do a special Easter sermon, and I have a few ideas. So we can expect an Easter sermon Sunday morning, and it's possibly going to be continued into Sunday night. I kind of like to do that. Um, what else have we got? We're adding a daily Gnostic quote to our post. I hope you all look out for that. We're also going to be, there's something else I'm adding, and honestly, it slips my mind at the moment. But it's probably not going to be until midweek or later. It'll be another short that we put out on a daily basis, I think. Um, I'm working right now on a book of the Gnostic epistles. We did editing. We did. We published a book on a modern day translation of the Gnostic Gospels, and I wanted to follow it up with the epistles. And after that, we're looking at working on a Gnostic paraphrase of the Bible, of this Orthodox scriptures. So that's something that's going to be coming out in the future. Of course, that's probably not going to be for a little while. Constantly avoiding finishing this omnibus for Strange Terror, and I don't know why. Just yeah. So, but that's what my days are like. I'm gonna go, I guess, and oh, smoking update. So I only had like 5 cigarettes yesterday, and I haven't had any today. I'm still sucking on the vape, but yeah, that'll get me through. So let's keep praying about that, and hopefully I'll have the strength to do it, to get through. No, not hopefully. I will. I have the strength. I can do this. All right. All things are possible. So look, all of you, thank you for joining me this morning. Y'all have a blessed day, and I hope that your journey brings you happiness and satisfaction. And we'll see you tomorrow. All right. Bye.